Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Inclusion Matters podcast and Inclusion Pro Wrestling. Tonight we have no guests, so we just decided to come on and give you some major updates for Inclusion Pro Wrestling. There's been a lot of moving and shaking in the last week, so let's get through the introductions and then we'll get through some of the sponsor stuff. Of course, at the bottom of the screen, you've got a guy that can't really pick a name. He's got so many damn alter egos. He's got me headstrong and my head hurts because he changes his name more than he changes his underwear. He wants to go by Principal Tap now. Oh, look, we've got the yellow shirted, big beaked, big bird who likes
You still know I look good.
Who likes the OJ because he's an OK orange loving Cassidy freak who thinks that Orange Cassidy is one of the best wrestlers in the world today. I tend to disagree. He can't even be the best international champion.
A lot better than CM Punk, but I won't get into all that.
And then, of course, I'm the heartbreaker just because, I know I'm better than you, everybody, and y'all should know it by now. So thank you to our two guests that are viewing us tonight. Again, yes, even my fans and my guests on my podcast, I'm better than both of you, and you know it. But let's get into the breaking news. Oh, now we lost one viewer. My bad. I'm so sorry. Let's get into some of the breaking news.
No.
First of all, due to contrary belief, Inclusion Pro Wrestling is stronger than ever. We've got the best booking team, the best management team, the best fundraising team surrounding us today. We've got the two best owners, well, next to the best owners in Washington, CPW and Yvonne Seaver is still the best owner in Washington State today. Just saying. But we've got some major news coming up. We've got our tickets being ordered, and they should be here within a week. So our ticket prices are $20 and $25. You can get them at Kevin Watson, American Family Insurance. Thank you, Kevin Watson, for being a sponsor of this podcast and the premier sponsor of the Cowlitz River Rumble. You can also get them by getting a hold of me or any of the management team. We're going to have tickets in Rainier, Oregon. You can get a hold of Lance Dean. We've got a couple of new sponsors since the last time we spoke. So without further ado, we'd love to thank Rugged Maid and where is she at? Kathy's Clutters in Longview, Washington. They are our two newest sponsors. And ladies and gentlemen, there's more sponsors to come. I do promise you that we will have more breaking news on that as they come in. We just cannot divulge the information as of right now because we are a factual podcast and factual wrestling company and will not give any lies or rumors or kayfabe. We will keep everything kayfabe. So we will not make any announcements until we know they are official. As far as everything else, thank you, Precision Pressure Washing. Thank you, Dodai Gallery Tattoo. Thank you, El Ranchero. Thank you, Los Jalapenos. Thank you to the CARE program. Thank you to Bruce Nichols Painting. And thank you to Burgerville of Kelso Longview. Those are our proud sponsors as of now. As I said, more to come probably in the very, very near future. I'd like to get on to a little bitch session now for a minute. Shame on you, City of Longview and the Calais County Exposition Center for trying to rip off a up-and-coming wrestling promotion that's going to do good in this town. The city of Longview wants 15% of all profits? Please! That's asinine. And just because it's a day after Thanksgiving and the weekend of Thanksgiving, your security company wants to charge $4,000 for an event? Really? You're out of your ever-loving gore. But we would like to thank Rex Michelson and the Rain Church for picking us up and becoming a home of Inclusion Pro Wrestling. I'd love to go over some of the card with you, but of course I can't do that yet because that is still being worked on. I can give you some of the talent, but that would be just wrong of me because that would be a tease. So, as you can tell, I'm in another one of those moods tonight. Just because I can be. Mr. Messiah. Nah, we're not going to go to the Messiah tonight. We just want to, take this opportunity to thank all of our sponsors and the great fans of Longview Kelso, Castle Rock, including and all areas in between for a great show. Tickets will be on sale here soon. I know they are being shipped to the Crippled Messiah's address. God forbid anything ever happens to those tickets. We know who to blame now because it's now on the Crippled Messiah. Let's see here. Some of the other stuff that's going on, we've got some great talent. We're actually, the one we can actually announce is thank you to Levi Cooper, formerly known as Tucker Knight of the WWE, for coming to the promotion and giving a meet and greet and possible seminar. That's right. So Tucker Knight of the WWE is coming to little old Kelso, Washington to help this promotion get off the ground. And we thank him for that. I wish we could bring in our other friends from Colorado, but I just got off the phone with a few of them, and they're looking forward to our next big event that we're going to be coming and doing this spring. So as far as that is concerned, so lots and lots of good stuff. I told you we weren't going to listen to Paint Drying tonight, but I would be remiss if I didn't let him come on and at least talk on his podcast, because then we're going to hear him whine, I didn't get to talk on my own podcast, and it's my podcast, not yours, and you won't let me talk. Wah, 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 wah. You know what? Cry me a fucking river, Big Bird. But I can't do that to you because, it is your damn podcast, and you think that you know it all because you're a goddamn messiah. But you know what? You've got some bad taste in wrestlers and Orange Cassidy.
Well, that's to be determined, and I think he's about ready to lose his title. But that's
oh yeah, you say that now because you're tired of me dogging on you all the time.
First of all, I would also like to say how dare you to the event center. I mean, this town has always been one of the biggest towns for inclusion and making sure that people with disabilities get the things that they need, and that's one of the things that I'm proud about living here for. The event center just did the complete opposite of that. Because yes, ladies and gentlemen, they knew that what we were doing. They knew why we were doing it. And yet they still decided that it would be a beneficial thing if they charged us that much money. I also would like to say thank you to the Rain Church and Rex Michelson. From a personal perspective, helping me accomplish a dream that I personally had, and I know that everybody else that's involved has had for a while now. And I know this is going to be a huge success. And it's going to be a night to remember. And it'll be the first time that wrestling's been back in Kelso and Longview since 2005. And I can't tell you, for a person who's lived here all my life, how much that means that I can be involved with the organization that brings wrestling back to this community. I want to also say thank you to the sponsors, just like the Heartbreaker said, because without you guys, this wouldn't be possible. You guys are a part of our team. And, you know, this has been an amazing ride so far, and I look forward to many more exciting things in the future. And as the Heartbreaker said, the tickets are coming to my place, so it's going to be a little bit nerve-wracking until they get here, but once they're here, then it's time to go to work. All right, so I'm not sure if Principal Tap's here or if he decided to go put somebody in a submission hold. So Heartbreaker, you got anything? While we're waiting for the principal to come back.
All I was saying, all I could hear was just blah, 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 like paint drying. Thank God he shut up.
It's a good thing this is on a computer and I can't throw anything at you.
And how dare you thank the sponsors again? Because, dude, that's just overkill. Just kidding. We love our sponsors very, very much. But, I mean, at least I named you all in a line, unlike our big-birded Orange Cassidy loving freak who couldn't even name one sponsor. All he said was he thanks the sponsors. Without you, we wouldn't have you. Well, thank you, Kevin Wasson. Thank you, Precision Pressure Washing. Thank you, Rugged Maid. Thank you, Doty Gallery. Thank you, Kathy's Clutters. Thank you, El Ranchero, Los Jalapenos, the CARE Program, Bruce Nichols Painting, Burgerville, Longview, Kelso. Nah, you're welcome. That's how you do it.
Well, you forget to mention the fact that you cheated by having a list by you that you're looking down at to read.
Well, that's how you stay prepared. That is why I'm better than you, and you know it.
I don't know anything. People have proven that.
That's right. You don't know anything.
I don't have.
See, even Siri agreed.
Oh, Siri can suck my toe.
So I'm sure you're chomping at the bit here to discuss the incident that happened in England with one CM Punk. Because I know for one, Mr. Yellow Shirt, Big Bird, Big Nose, Big Beaked, Orange Loving Cassidy Freak, you are opposed to CM Punk.
Yes, I am.
You think he is just a cancer in the locker room. You think
I do.
that he's not a good locker room leader.
No, I don't.
Well, to that, sir, I say on you.
There's a pattern.
Yeah, there's a pattern on your ass, too, and I don't call you out on it every time.
You don't see my ass every time. Just on Tuesday. But seriously, there's a pattern with CM Punk.
You wish he didn't even cause it this time. He did nothing wrong.
He was still involved with the altercation.
He did nothing
and
wrong.
It depends on the story you tell.
He did nothing wrong.
It depends on who tells you the story. There's like 6 different stories. Half of them say he did, half of them say he didn't.
Even
Half
Miro
of them,
himself, who was right there at the time of the incident, said CM Punk did nothing wrong.
half of them say he put Jack Perry in a chokehold. If he did that, that's not doing anything wrong and escalating the situation.
That's after Jack Perry came at him. That's called that's called, and you can even ask an officer of the law, self-defense.
Yes, but if he was a true locker room leader, wouldn't it have been better just to move away?
He de-escalated the situation and asked Jack Perry to leave.
By putting him in a chokehold?
And he gets suspended for it.
He should be fired because of the pattern.
No, sir. You should be fired from your own podcast for talking nonsense.
There's a pattern. If it was any other job and there was such a pattern like that, he would have been fired already.
There's a pattern with you talking like paint fucking drying. But do we bitch about it all the damn time? No. Oh, no rebuttal. Okay. So we see. CM Punk is the real world champion.
He shouldn't be any champion.
He never lost that title. He never got pinned. He never submitted. He never lost that title.
And why did they have to come up with the other title? Because he went into business for himself and trashed everybody at the media room. Just like he did in Ring of Honor, just like he did in WWE, and just like he's doing in AEW.
You know, that I can't believe that you're down talking a future guest of this podcast.
I would love to have CM Punk on this podcast.
I'm sure he'd love to come on this podcast too and choke you out.
He could try. Love to see how he's going to do it through a computer.
Well, don't look behind you.
Not going to do it.
Don't do it.
Not going to do it.
Okay, the Undertaker's behind you too.
Nope. You know, we're being really rude. We're not letting the principal talk. Do you have anything to add to this? No, thank you. Moving on.
Who cares about what Principal Tapass wants to talk about? He can't even decide.
Both of you can be in detention.
He hasn't even decided if he's going to keep Principal Tap or if he's going to change it to Harp, to Fat, to Pack, to Pecker, to Woody Woodpecker, to whatever. He's had a different name for the past 4 fucking weeks and can't even decide on one name. So until he can actually decide on a goddamn name, he needs to learn his role and shut the hell up. That's right. Shush, please.
No, see, I'll be the nice one on here. Seriously, do you have anything to add to this?
Shush, please.
No, just the fact that the Big Bird needs to go in detention.
Man, I was being the nice one.
For 15 seconds. Now, seriously, honestly, what happened with Punk should not have, I agree with the Heartbreaker, should not have happened.
Why is everybody forgetting the pattern? This isn't
I'm not forgetting the pattern.
What pattern? He did nothing wrong.
He still was involved in an incident.
He did nothing wrong.
If you had been involved in all those incidents, wouldn't you do your own thing to keep yourself away from them?
Just like you said, Orange Cassidy cheated in the match. when he
Never said
rode in
Orange-
when he rode in on the van.
I never said he cheated. You guys said he cheated.
Oh, that's right. That's because he did cheat.
No,
Nope.
he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Sure he
came
did.
He came
He
in
wasn't
to help.
involved in the match.
Neither was Wheeler Yuta.
Wheeler Yuta wasn't there.
He hid behind the minivan for the love of God. You guys need to go get your eyes checked, and you need to go to the glasses checked, and maybe change your prescription. If you guys don't think that Wheeler Yuta was hiding behind that one of the cars, and that's the only reason that Orange Cassidy came in on Sue's van.
Well, I can't wait for Moxley to take the title. He will make that relevant.
And I honestly agree.
Who says it's
As-
not going to be? Who
as
says it's
well
not
as
going to
the
be
Orange-
on Wednesday?
What's that?
Because
Are you really saying Orange Cassidy is going to get past fucking Penta? Really?
I think he's going to cheat to retain it.
he's not going to cheat.
You really think Orange Cassidy is going to get past Penta? Really?
Yes, because the bigger match is him and Moxley at All Out.
You really, truly think that he's going to beat Penta?
Yes, I do.
Only by cheating.
He's not. Orange Cassidy's a face. He doesn't cheat.
Man, you are delusional today, Big Bird.
Okay, if he's gonna cheat,
I
tell
mean-
me how he's gonna
I
cheat.
mean, even you said there's better international champions than Orange Cassidy, and I'm giving you a chance to lay down the face value that yes, there's better international champions than Orange Cassidy, and it's Penta Miro, and you're saying that Orange Cassidy is going to beat Penta?
Yes, because the bigger match and the one that's gonna make more money is the one with Jon Moxley and All Out.
Wouldn't it be more money with Penta versus Jon Moxley for the title?
No, because of the way that they haven't pushed Penta. Have they ever in AEW pushed Penta as a singles wrestler?
Although I see where Heartbreaker's going with this. Who was it that took out Phoenix?
Jon
Moxley.
Moxley.
Who has revenge on his mind? Penta. What better way to set it up is for Penta to win on Wednesday tomorrow, and then go to All Out for those two to have the ultimate grudge match.
You see,
I can see that happening.
you see, one of my close friends and our booker has always taught me to start thinking as a promoter. Now the bigger match to me would be Penta Mira versus Jon Moxley for that international championship.
Well, it can't be Miro at All Out. He's already taken on Powerhouse Hobbs.
I said Penta Miro. No fear.
It's Miro, by the way.
Shut up, or maybe I'll agree with Principal Tap Ass and kick you out of the podcast.
Plus, you guys are forgetting one thing. Tony Khan has his favorites, i.e. CM Punk, i.e. Jon Moxley, Chris Jericho, Claudio. He likes to give the titles to his favorites, i.e. why is he keeping that title? Okay, and I'll even throw Orange Cassidy on there. So, okay. So that's why he's keeping the title on Orange Cassidy. That's why he's that throwaway title that CM Punk has is back on CM Punk because he had to give CM Punk something. That's why Claudio, even though he deserves it, is the Ring of Honor champion. So who out of that list doesn't have a championship right now?
Oh, did you want an answer?
Well, I was hoping for one.
Oh, sorry. All I heard was paint drying, and I got bored. Can you repeat the question, please?
Out of the 5 people I mentioned, CM Punk, even though you really shouldn't count CM Punk's, Orange Cassidy, Claudio, and Moxley. I said Jericho, but Jericho doesn't have a belt either. And Moxley. Which one of those 4 doesn't have a belt right now?
Well, I mean, if you're really thinking about it that way, then the answer is, of course, Moxley.
Thank you.
But which ones of those that you really mentioned doesn't really need a belt to prove that he's the best in the world?
Moxley. But that's not the way that Tony Khan books. Have all the respect in the world for Tony Khan, but that's not the way he books. And honestly, it makes sense to put it on Moxley because of how much Moxley has traveled around the world. He's huge in Japan. He's huge all over the world. If you put it on Penta, and yes, he's huge in Mexico, but he's not really huge in Japan. And you haven't really pushed him as a single star in AEW. The last place he was pushed as a single star was in Impact.
Either way, whoever Moxley faces out All Out, I see a grudge match, one way or the other.
Oh, it's going to be a good match, but I think Moxley's going to win it.
I didn't say good, I said grudge.
Oh, I know, but I'm saying it's going to be a good match. But I still say the winner is going to be.
How's it going to be a good match if it's Orange Juice? He's gonna flip Orange Juice and he's gonna break him in half and he's gonna take his title and Orange Juice is gonna go home crying.
Because contrary to the popular box up in the left-hand corner, there's a lot of people that think that Orange Cassidy is entertaining. Not to mention, you're not telling me for the people that don't think that Orange Cassidy is entertaining with the violent style that Jon Moxley has, wouldn't like to see Orange Cassidy get crap beat out of him?
All I'm saying is blood's going to be drawn, and it's Moxley who's going to be drawing the blood on his opponent.
No. To be fair, he'll probably bleed within Moxley. He'll probably bleed within the first 5 minutes.
No, because if he faces DOJ, short for Orange Juice, Orange Juice will bleed in less than 5 minutes into the match.
I actually think Moxley will bleed first. I mean, if you just look at the history of things, Moxley ends up either busting himself open or he gets busted open. Kind of like the new generation Sandman, but he wrestles better, a lot better.
Now, I did see caught a little glimpse of a possible 6-man feud with Jarrett's guys and a possible returning Big Show.
No, I think that was just for the London show. because it was Jarrett, Satnam's thing, and Jay Lethal, and then Big Show, Anthony Ogogo, and Grado from Impact came out. So there's a possibility maybe they could do it like out on Dynamite or something, but I don't think it'll turn into a big feud. I think they just did that to pop the London crowd because you had a Go-Go and you had Grado.
So the next big show besides the show in Chicago is the Arthur Ashe Stadium show in New York.
Right.
Does anybody see Adam Cole defeating MJF in his hometown?
Yes.
That's good.
I do.
That's what I see too. And do you see the Kingdom and them costing MJF the ROH titles?
Yes.
Yep. Now the question is, who do they lose it to?
The Kingdom.
Well, but here's the bigger thing. Then you've got the Kingdom and Roderick Strong forming with Adam Cole as the ultimate heel faction. Who does MJF turn to make a 4-on-4?
I don't know 4-on-4, but I'm going to make you happy with one of the two that I'm going to say for 3. I'm thinking he calls in the Dynasty from MLW. Which would be Richard Holiday, who's a free agent and cancer free. Congratulations, by the way. And this is the one that's going to make the Heartbreaker happy. I could see Tony Khan buying out a contract of an MLW superstar and bringing him to AEW to team up with MJF. I can see Tony Khan, especially now that he doesn't have the MLW championship. I can see Tony Khan buying out the contract of Alexander Hammerstone.
That's an interesting theory.
It is a very interesting theory.
That's a very interesting theory. I kind of like your idea, but here's what I think is going to happen. MJF's going to lose his title to Adam Cole. He is going to be humbled. He is going to be very humbled. He's going to oh, poor pity me. He's going to bury the hatchet with a returning CM Punk and his former Pinnacle brethren, FTR.
Anything's possible, but again, not to get back.
Yeah, I could see that.
Not to get on a soapbox, but I would stay so far away from CM Punk right now. It wouldn't even be funny.
That's because you're unbiased. You're supposed to be a podcaster and unbiased.
Even if you think he didn't do it, there's enough people in public opinion that thinks he did. Is it really a good business move as a promoter to bring him back?
I would definitely bring him back because he didn't do nothing wrong.
It doesn't matter if he did something wrong. If there's enough people that believe he did something wrong, it's going to hurt the product in the long run.
You see, that's where we disagree. CM Punk still puts asses in the seats. CM Punk still sells out arenas. CM Punk is still a big draw. If he wasn't a big draw, then yeah, I'd say stay away from him. But because he can still put asses in those seats, as Tony Schiavone says, CM Punk ain't going anywhere.
Well, he might be going somewhere because I heard a rumor, and I want to specify rumor that he told Tony Khan he quit.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we don't condone rumors on this podcast, nor do we agree with the rumors.
Now we'll give credit where credit is due. I love what Chris Jericho and Fozzy did.
Yes.
During one of their concerts.
Took advantage of a poor dying man.
How is that taking advantage when you're paying homage to a friend?
He took advantage of his name, of his moveset, and the Fireflies. Please.
So you wouldn't have had him acknowledge him at all.
AEW? No, he was never in AEW.
Yes, but there were still people in the AEW that he worked with. You don't think they deserve the right to honor him on television?
Privately, because he's not part of that company.
But he's part of the wrestling community. That's
Did
the point.
WWE do a tribute show to Jay Briscoe? No, they just said WWE's saddened to lose Jay Briscoe, and they just put a picture of him up there. But AEW, man, they did a show. They did a show in honor of Jay Briscoe. That's right. Because he was part of their team.
I see nothing wrong with what AEW, with what Chris Jericho, with what anybody did in AEW when it came to Bray Wyatt.
I'm just being an impartial, unbiased podcaster like we're supposed to be.
As am I.
Yeah, but your opinions on CM Punk aren't unbiased.
Yes, as a businessman, they are.
You're not a businessman, you're a podcaster.
Yes, he might put butts in seats, but is it worth it for the hit you would take in public opinion? Because if he keeps doing what he's doing, and he keeps making one problem after another, those people are going to get tired of it, and those butts and seats are going to stop.
I really don't think so.
And if this
All right.
was
Let's go around the podcast here. CM Punk, a first ballot Hall of Famer? Tap?
Most definitely.
Messiah?
based on his wrestling skills and what he's done as a wrestler in the ring, yes.
But
of all the other stuff, absolutely not. But if you base it off of,
see, you can't be unbiased. As Principal Tap said, 100% without a doubt, CM Punk is a future Hall of Famer.
then if that's the case, then why isn't Chris Benoit a Hall of Famer?
Unfortunately, he may or may not have done what he was accused of doing. Nobody can prove that.
Exactly. Nobody can prove what CM Punk did or didn't do on either occasion. So how's it any different?
You don't see CM Punk going out and possibly committing murder.
That's not the point. The point is nobody can prove what happened backstage. Nobody can prove what happened in the locker room with the Elite Four. Just like nobody can prove what happened with Benoit or not. So how are the two different? it's still the court of public opinion.
It's a promoter it's a promoter that is scared to put in a true legend in the sport, Chris Benoit, into the Hall of Fame. That's all it is. It's not a public opinion. It's Vince McMahon is scared to put Chris Benoit in a Hall of Fame.
And that is a fact.
I mean, for crying out loud, he put Hulk Hogan in, and then he said something racial, and he took him out. And then after Hulk Hogan apologized, he put him right back in again. I'm sorry, Chris Benoit cannot apologize for anything.
You're right. He can't. But what I'm saying is, you should base it off of their in-ring abilities and what they did in the ring. If that's the case, then yes, CM Punk should be up first ballot Hall of Famer without any question. But that's not how people base the Hall of Fame.
But again, Benoit cannot defend himself.
Yes, but would it matter if he could?
Earlier. He did?
So let's play devil's advocate with that for a minute. Let's say, hypothetically, because it didn't happen this way, but let's say hypothetically Benoit survived. Right? But Nancy and his kid and his son died.
Benoit wouldn't be a free man right now because he'd be sitting in prison because of something that he may or may not have been at fault with.
Exactly. But if he would have been alive, should he still be a Hall of Famer?
In my opinion, yes.
But would they put him in the Hall of Fame? Because people would automatically think he did it if he was still alive, right? Right now they can't because they don't know and he can't defend himself.
See, I have my theories, but I'm going to keep them to myself because, again, I don't know the whole truth behind it, so I can't really say what my theory is. So I'll just keep that one to myself.
Public opinion carries a lot. And if people keep hearing negative things about you, unfortunately, it doesn't matter what you did in the ring. It should, but it doesn't. It matters what people hear and what people believe. If enough people believe that CM Punk is a troublemaker and that he caused a lot of the altercations, regardless if it's the truth or regardless what I believe or what other people believe, if enough people believe that that's what he caused, it'll impact his career and he might not make it into a Hall of Fame. Is that right? No, because he should be based on his in-ring thing. If it's his in-ring career, if it's a pro wrestling Hall of Fame. But that's not the way the world works.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm probably going to do something on this podcast that the Crippled Messiah was probably never thought I'd do in a million years. I have on good authority that there was actually a second almost near incident in London involving Mr. CM Punk.
Okay.
And this one here was actually reported by Brian Alvarez of the Dirt Sheets, and we know how Brian Alvarez is.
Mm-hmm.
He's more wreckable than the other person.
The man that will not be named.
The man that will not be named and told us about the Jack Perry and CM Punk incident. So apparently, the second incident, and again, I'm gonna say rumor, but I'm gonna say my piece on this, was the second incident was with Miro. He asked if he had a problem about what had happened with Perry, and Punk asked him if he had a problem with him now, then we need to step outside.
Okay.
CM Punk, shame on you for the man who defended you to the crowd and to the public and public opinion. For you to be that hot-headed, to go after the man that actually saved you and probably only got you a week suspension instead of a longer suspension. Then you want to go outside and fight Miro? Dude, Miro would have killed you. It's probably a good thing that you let your ego check yourself at the door and not go outside, because Miro probably would have been kicked off of AEW for a long time, and we may not have found CM Punk's body.
Yep.
So Messiah, you're still wrong. You still use it. You still wear a yellow shirt and look like Big Bird, and you still love Orange Juice and Orange Cassidy. But as far as the CM Punk thing, you might have been onto something. Is he a cancer in the locker room? I don't know. Does he still sell and draw well? Absolutely. Should he be with AEW? Who knows? But, you know, Mr. Tony Khan, you need to control your wrestlers.
Yep.
Or
that I will 100% agree with you on.
Or WWE is going to wipe the floor with you again. That is all.
So what else you guys want to talk about?
We can discuss that main event last night on Raw.
It was a great main event.
It was.
Probably,
it was
probably one of the better women's matches I've seen in WWE in the last 3 years.
But shame on Becky Lynch for breaking kayfabe and breaking down because, oh, boo-hoo, Bray Wyatt died.
I was going to stay off a soapbox, but you pulled me right back on one, didn't you?
The dude died. Okay, yes. Is he a future Hall of Famer? Abso-fucking-lutely. Was he taken from us too soon? Absolutely. But boo-hoo, you rip off your armband and you break kayfabe? Dude, that's the most cardinal sin ever. And it wasn't just her. It happened on Friday. It happened on Monday. In the WWE, everybody was breaking kayfabe. I thought we were wrestlers. I thought we were promotions. I thought we believed in kayfabe.
They do, but they're still human beings. They're still friends. They're still family.
That's what you go backstage for.
There's nothing wrong with it. It was at the end of the show.
When you're still in camera sight, you don't do that.
If anything, be mad at the cameraman for not panning off of her when she did that. But don't be mad at Becky Lynch for showing emotion.
Was she backstage?
Nope.
No, she was sitting in the audience, in the crowd, but the camera was still on her. If the show was going off air,
Okay.
he should have.
It's still live TV until the editor until they say cut.
But she's still a human. Plus, there was a story about the table that they went through.
Oh, did it have the firefly on it like Bray Wyatt?
No. The first time, and again, this is just the rumor that I've heard for the story, so I don't want to get people saying that didn't happen that way. The story that I heard, and again was a rumor, was that when Becky Lynch first got to the main roster, there was a spot where she had to go through a table, and she wasn't able to get it down right. So Bray Wyatt pulled her aside and helped her get it down so that she could go through, so that the spot would look right. So with the fact that she put Trish through a table, just like what Bray Wyatt was showing her to do, yeah, that would make me think of Bray Wyatt and get emotional.
So was this before or after her and Seth started dating? Because wouldn't that be considered fraternizing with another person's woman?
It was way before her and Seth started dating. It was when she first got called up to the main roster.
Okay. I'd love to hear Seth Rollins' version of that story and how it made him feel.
He'd probably be happy that somebody was willing to help Becky. Again, they weren't dating at the time, so why would it matter?
And then what about the stupid promo that Fizz did?
See, here's where I'm going to surprise you guys. Because you guys know I've been the biggest Fizz critic in the world. And rightfully so. But last night's impersonation of LA Knight was actually pretty entertaining.
Dummy, yeah.
And that's what he was, a dummy.
But I can't get mad at it because it was still pretty entertaining.
Yeah, and I'd look to see LA Knight on Thursday come out and mock The Miz.
Absolutely, and that'll be entertaining too, and it'll be a great way to build for Saturday at Payback.
Well, let me talk to you. LA Knight versus The Miz at Payback is going to end one way. With LA Knight, yeah, and the 1, 2, 3.
And I agree with that.
Yep. And I beg you, WWE, as soon as LA Knight gets done with the light work at Payback, please put him for a championship. I don't care if it's the United States Championship. I don't care if you move him to Raw and put him after the Intercontinental Championship. Just give him a championship. Don't make him like a Roman Reigns, where
Hey,
Roman Reigns.
Watch it.
Don't make him like a Roman Reigns, where the fans were cheering like crazy for Roman Reigns, or booing Roman Reigns like crazy, and you were still trying to shove Roman Reigns down her face as a face. And you missed an opportunity to give Roman a title a lot sooner than he got one. Don't do that with LA Knight. You have a lightning in the bottle with the LA Knight, and you're just wasting it by putting him in the ring with somebody like The Miz. Because you can't tell me that LA Knight couldn't have a good match with either, depending on who wins on um on Saturday. You can't tell me that LA Knight couldn't have a good match with either Rey Mysterio or Austin Theory.
I really do not see Austin regaining that title. So, yeah, I could see a good match between Rey and LA Knight. But I really believe there's something else they're doing something else with Rey and his son. They're gonna get ready to do something that includes both titles.
I don't think that's gonna happen for a while, and honestly, I think Dominic will drop the North American Championship before he even starts the feud with his dad.
I agree. And I don't even
And
think Rey Mysterio will have the U.S. title when that feud starts either.
Nope, I think it'll be LA Knight. I really do. I really think LA Knight is the next person after Rey or Theory, because I'm not putting it out of the thing that Theory could cheat. Maybe have Pretty Deadly come back because they've pretty much been gone and help him win. Do a quick little 6-man with the LWO, Theory, and Pretty Deadly, and then Theory moves on to LA Knight. And LA Knight beats him for the championship at Survivor Series.
That's an interesting thought.
That's an interesting theory. No pun intended, Austin Theory. But I still don't think Austin Theory is going to take that title back. Why? Because VKM is not in power anymore. And Austin Theory was VKM's bitch boy.
True. But WWE, regardless if it's Triple H or BKM, like to do face versus face long-term feuds. So if you go by your theory, which is a good one, and I'm not talking about Austin, and Ray keeps it, then do they break the norm and do a face-to-face feud? Which I doubt, because if you look at the track record of WWE, or do you have Theory win it so that way it'll be a heel versus heel?
No, here's how I see it happening. Ray retains against Theory. Grayson Waller comes in and takes it from Ray, sets up a match between LA Knight and Grayson Waller.
Can't be Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller got hurt that he's still injured. That's why they have him just doing the Grayson Waller effect.
But the question is Grayson Waller really hurt? Because look what they did with Ray.
Yes, but the rumor is that Grayson Waller got hurt in that scramble, that when they were all going for the U.S. title.
I know they haven't set this matchup yet.
Plus, I think the next person that Grayson Waller is going to feud with is Cody.
I can see that. But again, they haven't set this match up yet. Brother versus brother with Daddy as special referee.
Well, again, all that we're talking about is rumors, but that was the rumor based on what Rikichi had put on that meat grieve poster. But I thought they would have done it by now, but they couldn't do it Friday when Jimmy comes back.
I think that, again, I'm just going to sit back and see what happens and then be shocked like everybody else.
Heartbreaker, you got anything else?
Yeah.
What you got?
Sorry, I was doing my LA Knight impersonation.
At least the Heartbreaker can do it a lot better than the Fizz.
I'm still saying that was an entertaining segment.
Here, let's hear from Mr. Eli Drake. Hang on, I think I got him on the phone.
Dummy,
Thank you, Eli, for your kind words.
dummy,
I agree, the man in the yellow is a dummy.
dummy,
And the one in the gray, too. Thank you, Eli Drake, for joining us at the end of the podcast tonight. But before we go, I'd like to thank Principal Tapp for joining me tonight. And again, thank you, Kevin Watson from American Family Insurance. Thank you, Precision Power Washing. Thank you, Doty Gallery Tattoo. Thank you, Rugged Maid, for your generous donation. And there is a personal connection to that, too, that we can get into later, but we're not going to on air. Thank you, Kathy's Clusters. Thank you, El Rancheros. Thank you, Los Jalapenos Taqueria. Thank you, Care Program. Thank you, Bruce Nichols Painting. Thank you, Burger also Longview, for being our proud sponsors. And again, thank you, Principal Tapp, for being such an awesome host tonight. And
You're welcome.
And my number 2, because, you know, unlike the man in the yellow shirt up above that's right beside me, you're always entertaining, and at least you have exciting input to bring instead of just blah, 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 hypocritical, blah, 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 unbiased journalism. So, with that being said, again, I'm the Heartbreaker. At the bottom is Principal Tapp. And beside me, dude, I don't even know. He's just a dude in the yellow shirt with a big forehead. With that being said, we will be back tomorrow for 2 more exciting interviews. And yes, we'll actually have interviews tomorrow night. And I believe we'll even have an interview on Thursday night. We're looking forward to all 3 of those. And maybe the man in the yellow shirt can actually do his damn job and book our September shows for us now too.
Gotta get me the calendar.
See, there's another excuse, ladies and gentlemen. This is why this podcast would not run as well as it would if you didn't have me. That's right. Because I'm the one that books all these shows. I'm the one. So, with that being said, we'll see you guys tomorrow night. Messiah,
Thank you very much.
take us out.
Thank you very much. And thank you to all the sponsors one more time, and we'll see you
Tomorrow at 4.
tomorrow night at 4.
Yep. We have one at 4 and one at 6, I believe, tomorrow. I believe that's
Yep.
what I booked. So, yeah. All right.